Hello and welcome to another part of Thronebreaker, The Witcher Tales. And as you can see, we are still in Mahakam, the land of the dwarves. In the latest episode, we went a little bit through to the north after clearing the big pit out of the fiends. And we put there a lot of water to drown them. Anyway, after that we moved a little bit through the very frozen wasteland, quote unquote, and we have found out an heir to the Vidmar family. We have helped him to recover all of his gold, but unfortunately his plans with the gold was against the dwarven laws, so we have decided to uphold it, which pretty much made him angry, and he left us. And hopefully this will not affect too negatively our adventure further and line. After that we had a small, or more like a little bit bigger accident where some of the wild beasts have made few of our wagons to drop to some part of chasm, but they have landed a little bit of safe, so Meave and few of her soldiers without weapons helped to recover it, and later we have also found some new gold pieces or gold chest, and in it some gold pieces of loot for multiplayer game. So after finishing up some puzzles, including one which had resembled a lot Magic the Gathering, we will be continuing further, and hopefully we will soon arrive at the Lord of Mahakam, Brewer Hook. So let's see. And here we are at the place where our party member Isbel helped to clear out some dangerous commotion, or how to say it correctly, with these people which wanted to fight against each other during the burial or funeral ceremonial. Isbel saved the day, so now we can continue further to the north. Here we are, and our goal is to get here and then here, because we have found one more map, and the most probable place where to search for it is right here. So let's see what we can find on our way to the mountaintop. First some gold and wood.
The Lyrians ascended the highest section of the Mahakam range. Snow crunched under their boots, cold air stung their lungs, and the wind snapped at their cloaks. Meave wiped sweat from her brow and turned to Reynard.
There! By the rocks! We shall...
The rest of her words were drowned out by a powerful blast. The entire mountain rumbled with a low, vibrating roar. The sound grew louder, echoing off the rocks, splitting their ears. The Lyrians looked around, disoriented. Few heard Gabor's warning.
Dinna just stand there! Get behind the rock! Quick! Hurry!
Meave followed the dwarf's gaze and cried out in terror. The snow stuck to the mountainside had started to slide down the slope, sending up mists of icy dust. Before she could react, the white torrent knocked her to her knees, crushing her and smothering her into the ground. All she felt after that was all-encompassing cold and fear. Meave survived. The dwarves who ran to the Lyrian's rescue dug her out of the snow in time. Some of her soldiers were not so lucky. The Queen looked at their bodies, blue, frozen. Next to them lay dead horses, demolished wagons. The losses were enormous. Meve wiped her cheek. Her tears burned her frozen skin. Gabor spoke a while with the leader of the Mahakam guard patrol that had come to their rescue. His face was dour.
What? What have you learned?
I tell you all in good time. First, you need a warm drink, good victuals.
No, Gabor. I need to find out what in blazes happened here.
Well, 'twas an avalanche.
Of course it was an avalanche. I'm no fool. But what caused it? What was that noise?
Signal horns. Ours.
So you brought this snow down on us? Dwarves!
Well, aye, but, unawares.
Go on.
Explain, in brief.
See, we clean our mount regularly. The way men folk shovel snow off their roofs. Otherwise, the whole shebang would come tumbling down on our heads. When snow's gathered deep enough, we blast our horns to cause a controlled avalanche. Then we need to, sweep up a wee bit and the road's safe.
All well and good, but why did you decide to clean up right as I was passing through?
Wondering that myself. Schedule says next cleaning should have been a week from now. But someone asked the route to be cleared earlier.
Who?
Maeve, I'll tell you. But first, promise you'll...
Who?
Hey... Owain ep Clenvog, the Nilfgaardian emissary. Must have found out you'd be going through.
The bastard. Reynard! Reynard!
Wait! Wait! I understand you're a wee bit upset, you've every right. But you'll never prove Owain meant you harm. The sly weasel will make sure he didn't dirty his own paws.
I've no such scruples. I'll find him and kill him.
And then? How'd you tell that tale to Bruva? Maeve, you're justly torped, but for the love, just this once, let it go. Or you'll leave Mahakam with near a scrap to show for it.
Moments later, scouts reported Owain was camped to the north of the accident site. Meve had to decide how much she was willing to risk to get her revenge on the Imperial emissary.
Ouch. And morale is crushed and we'll have lost almost everything which we have saved for. Now I wish I would have made an upgrade which I was talking about in the latest episode. And this one. Boo. Ooh. We have lost so much gold. So let's see. And now we have decided if we will go and attack the emissary or we will just close our eyes for now and hope for the best. With Brewer, Hook.
By the Elder Sideburns, I'd no notion anyone was in the Vale. Nilfgaardian said the road was clear. The Horsons. What a mess. I'm so sorry. With all my heart. What a mess. I'm so sorry. With all my heart. Nilfgaardian said the road was clear. The Horsons.
Okay, let's check a little bit if we can find anything. Looks like there is absolutely nothing down there. I was hoping a little bit of gold would be around here, but seems really not. Man, oh man, I'm so angry now that I did not make that upgrade, which I was thinking about. Nilfgaardian camp. Oh. Let's use this.
There, milady, whispered one of the scouts. Left of the path. Neve squinted. The Nilfgaardians had taken shelter from the falling snow under a rocky outcropping. The smell of roasting meat wafted from their campfire, and echoes of laughter could be heard. The black-clad soldiers had reason to celebrate. They had just decimated Meave's company without even drawing their weapons. Meave's gaze caught something else. A metal container into which the Nilfgaardians tossed bones once they'd been gnawed clean. It looked strangely familiar. Only after a moment did the Queen understand it was an overturned Lyrian helmet dug out of the snowy grave of one of her men.
The whoresomes.
Meave hissed.
They'll pay for this.
Meave, asking you last time, keep a cool head.
Whispered Gabor.
You want vengeance? I get it. But think of the cost. If so much as a hair gets plucked from Owain's head, Bruver will never forgive you. And you can kiss any hope of aid goodbye.
Silence followed. Finally to be broken by one of the scouts.
Milady, what's the order? Do we attack?
We will keep the Gabor's advice for now, although I really hate to do that. But it makes most sense for now.
No.
Said the Queen after long deliberation.
But milady, they...
I know what they did. And that I shall never forget nor forgive.
Said Meave, placing a hand on her scout's shoulder.
But breaking Dwarven law only plays into the Nilfgaardians' hand, causing us to lose allies and our chance for victory.
Meave brushed the snow from her trousers and straightened her spine.
Avenge our comrades we shall. Not here, but in the fields of Lyria and Rivia.
The Lyrians resumed their march with heavy, beleaguered steps. Their path still piled high with the snow brought down by the Nilfgaardians.
I'm so angry that I could not do my vengeance. I mean revenge. Okay, we will go there later. Let's talk with
While
them.
passing the mining settlement of Kolstock, Meave heard the sounds of battle.
Hey-ho! Into the fray, lads!
Expecting she would see monsters swarming dwarves, the Queen set off at a gallop to the rescue. Her braid blew about in the wind like a banner, showing her men in which direction to attack. The dwarves she saw, however, were not engaged in a battle against Shaelmars and Barbigazes. No, they were going at one another. Luckily, no weapons had yet been drawn, but given the dwarves have hands the size of bread loaves, this did not necessarily mean there would be no deaths.
Oi, lads!
Roared Gabor Zigrin.
What's this foolishness? Calm the hell down, damn it!
Gabor's intervention proved successful. The dwarves limited themselves to verbal jousting. Meave, who was no stranger to barrack room talk, nonetheless turned crimson at the dwarves' cursing. Piecing together the obscenities, Meave concluded they were debating an old quarrel about the height of a certain mountain, or rather of the twin peaks atop it. One of them lay in the territory of Clan Dahlberg, while the other in the Hoogsland. Each family felt their peak was the highest, all measurements indicating the contrary being total fabrications.
Queen,
Started Gabor, nervously chewing his moustache.
they're asking if you, as yin impartial and a fair-minded wench to boot, wouldn't wish to settle their idiot squabble once and for all?
Meave knew well that this type of age-old quarrel could easily end in bloodshed, so she resolved to help. Representatives of the two clans gave her a strange mechanism she was to use to measure elevation. All that was left was for the Queen to button her coat up to the neck and scale the twin peaks.
Time to end this delicate feud, once and for all. Time to end this delicate feud, once and for all. Time to end this delicate feud, once and for all.
Strange.
When she and her force had traveled half the way to the first, she heard a long roar that made snow shelves detach and descend. Without waiting for her scouts to return with reports, Meve drew her sword.
Okay, looks like we have some battle before the measuring, and we have shortened battle at the Twin Peaks. Fighting on a steep mountain slope is no easy task. Dalurians struggled to find solid footing in the snow, propped up by their spears, their eyes squinting under ice-speckled brows, whereas the beasts, they moved with ease, leaping from rock to rock, long talons scraping menacingly against the stone. Let's see. Okay, no thingy against us and no clue what will await us, so we will go definitely with Stray Bomber. I think the attack should be fine, and we will keep her just in case. Let's do it this way.
Eyes up, lads! They're flying straight for us!
Okay, no special rules. I think I will use this.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Good choice.
Greetings. What is it?
Not so good. But let's start with this. Ouch. And
Catch!
we will start with this fire here.
Quite the clever little contraption they gave us. Work of a gnome, of course.
Why not? Ouch.
As you command.
We are getting pretty much ass kicked. Sorry. Good choice for now. Let's see.
I hoped we could solve this some other way.
Thankfully, this helped at least a little bit. And I have 102. Okay, why not? This should be fine.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
And
Looking to dance, mate?
this. Yeah, let's pass. Yeah, let's pass.
Take those measurements and let's be gone from this place.
Thankfully, it helped to have Isbel in our party with this fight. So let's continue.
The Lyrians managed to repel the monsters and reach both peaks. Upon each, Meve ordered her men to take the measurements. While waiting, she admired the breathtaking view of the Mahakam Massif. The dwarven contraption left no room for doubt. The peak within the Dahlberg clan territory was 2 feet higher than that within Hoog territory. Gabor was clearly displeased with the results.
Damn it all! I'd hoped you'd prove Brewer's clan was in the right. He'd have been content to see the Dahlbergs knocked down a peg or two, and, possibly, he'd have been more inclined to help you,
said the dwarf in frustration. Then, after a pause, he added,
Although, only you saw what the device showed, Queen. Perhaps you could, recalibrate the results a wee bit?
Well, I swallowed the attack against the Naval Guardians, my revenge, but so I will go with the true measurements now.
To lie would be simple, true.
said Meve.
Yet to forget the matter would be so much harder. No, Gabor, I shall tell the truth.
The Queen's tone made it clear the discussion was over. Gabor let the matter lie, and Meve's force began its descent down the mountainside.
At least I am back to normal morale. Slowly getting a little bit more of the gold. And hopefully we will find some gold here as well at the treasure chest. Okay, we now got Isbel the healer into multiplayer card game. Okay. Everything is sold here, and this map is okay. Time to check. If I'm correct, only one golden chest is still missing. Oh, I have all of them, so color me surprised. So let's go and solve the issue.
The dwarves of both clans had been waiting with bated breath for the expedition's return and report. As soon as Meve announced the results, the Dahlbergs rolled barrels of beer out into the square and began to celebrate. Naturally, the Hoogs were disappointed, yet they accepted Meve's results as final. At last, they had come to trust her.
Dahlbergs are the dwarves we need, every every hoogs are dunder heed! Dalbert are the dwarves we need, every hoogs are dunder heed!
Okay, so this is sold.
For frostbite, you'd best avail yourself of some onion juice. Even better if you had a wee nip of vodka. Oh, snotters are frozen solid. Not just those in my beard. Like up my nose too. Once we're neath Carmen, we'll find our way to the tavern. Set our arses down by the fire. And sip mugs of mulled wine. For frostbite, you'd best avail yourself of some onion juice. Even better if you had a wee nip of vodka.
Okay, the dialogue was exhausted, so...
As Meve neared Langbridge, she ordered her bugler to announce her arrival, then retired to her tent to freshen up. Gascon was already inside, awaiting her.
I do not seem to recall summoning you.
In that case, I must tell you to fret not. Nothing wrong with your memory. I've come with no agenda. Spontaneously, call it, to chat.
Then I propose you leave. Just as spontaneously, call it. I must don fresh clothes. I'm to see the Elder soon, and I'd prefer to not smell of horse sweat.
Doubt it'd make much difference to him. And be assured, I know what I speak of. When last we met, I found myself standing downwind of him. A pungent experience.
I do admit I was reminded of an old good in more ways than one.
Well, Hugh was saved the experience of his breath. So pungent I thought I might faint.
Well, to revive you, pinch you awake, I'm sure would be quite a pleasure.
Gascon, I beg your pardon. Ugh, I shall have nightmares now.
Not tonight. For I fear you might not sleep at all. You see, there's something you ought to know. And decidedly before you meet with Bruver. The sites we cleared of beasts, I ferreted a bit. Noted something peculiar. Any notion what it was?
None. The monumental dwarven architecture, perhaps?
Bones, my dear Meve. Dwarven bones. Now, guess what I found on them?
Wait, don't dare give me any hints. Bite marks.
Of course. After all, they'd been gnawed clean of all flesh by monsters, incidentally making it quite easy to spot other markings. Ones made by axes and swords. To be certain, I showed the bones to our medics, and they confirmed my conclusion.
Meaning what? That the entire clan, the Fuchses,
did not perish due to an invasion of beasts from the depths. The monsters merely ate the bodies and occupied empty homes. Now, I shared my discovery with Gabor, and guess what he did? He panicked. He started to squirm, babble nonsense. I wager my right arm, he's hiding something.
blast. Overly eager to aid us from the start he was. I might have sensed something. I shall have him summoned at once. And I thank you, Gascon. I won't forget this.
Minutes later, Gabor stood before the Queen. At first, he tried to mislead her with evasive answers, but as her pointed questions demolished one clumsy excuse after another, he had to give in.
Oi. As King Desmond said after a hefty squirt in his hose, we can't sweep this under the rug.
If you think I welcome jests in this moment, you err. My fingers itch to summon the hangman.
Right. So... 'tis true. I misled you. On our clan elder's orders, supposed to make sure you destroyed Burr's Rump and Davor's Abyss thoroughly enough to leave nae a trace.
What? Why? What did they wish to hide?
They was home to the Fuchses, our mortal enemies. They'd been a-boiling our heinies for ages, thumbing their noses, taking what they want when they want, and the Elder-in-Chief didn't gie a ploughing whit. So to stop them, our clan, we did the unpardonable. The Ziggurat elders saw their chance and they...
Gods. So you were responsible for the deaths of all those dwarves?
Me? I didn't raise a finger. Tried to stop them, in fact.
How did they do it?
No witnesses survived, meaning you must have murdered the entire clan. How?
Queen, you sure you...
I am. And you should be sure to answer in full, omitting no detail.
A few years back, we got pummeled by a horrendous winter. Stone-breaking frosts, whiteout storms, avalanches. Made travelling a painful form of suicide. Hunger drove beasts out of their dens. Pass was covered in the filth. Got to where they paced rout outside the walls. Fuchses fought a hard, bloody fight to keep the critters out of Davar's abyss. Lost near every axe-wielding dwarf they had. Only survivors had to winter at Burr's Rump. Our elders felt such an opportunity wouldn't knock again. After killing the town's meagre guard, they set fire to it and barricaded the gates. They didn't stand a chance.
Bastards.
No one investigated?
How in the world did the truth go undiscovered?
Once it were over, our dwarves opened the gates. Before they'd lit their pipes, starving beasts came crawling out of the pass. The stank of dead flesh were strong. Zigrans who came back from that never were the same. If you'd only gandered their gaze when they had us all take a vow of silence. And then...
You invented that blarney about primeval monstrosities the Fuchses had awoken by mining too deep. A riveting tale, and one with a moral to boot.
Aye. But the elders worried Bruver would suspect something all the same. That's why they wanted you to destroy all the evidence.
Repugnant.
Could you truly not stop this massacre?
You claim not to have taken part, but neither did you do anything to stop the massacre.
What was it to do exactly? The elders had decided. Nae dwarf would listen to me.
You might have informed the Elder-in-Chief. The guilty would have been punished.
The guilty? You didn't ken Bruver. He'd punish the whole clan. Women, children, nae exceptions. Maeve, Queen, I'm begging you. He canna ever learn of this. Aye, I want a hack flame too when I think what the Elder's done. But t'other way it'd bring but more pain and death.
That's summoner, or I'll give it a due consideration.
You've got a lot of nerve, making requests after lying to me.
Trying to ensure you ken the stakes. But you'll do as you see fit. Like always.
I need to consider what's right. Meanwhile, Gascon, make sure Gabor remains our guest.
Of course. I'll let you know if he so much as rolls his eyes towards an escape route.
Okay, so we have found another dark secret of the dwarves. And it seems we will be getting to the end of the main quest here. Okay, let's check. What do we have here?
Always good to see the Queen. How can I help you?
We shall return to this conversation later.
No skin off my back. We seen each other, Your Grace.
Looks like no new stuff here. Let's talk the guy with the current map. We have all the golden chests, 5 standard. Okay. Not much to do because we lost so much gold, so everything is clear. So let's finish the map. You are approaching an important moment in your journey. If you choose to continue, you will not be able to resume any unfinished activity in this area. Let's continue.
Bruva stood by the bridge like a statue, arms crossed, eyes squinting. Meve sighed inside. She stood little chance of having a pleasant chat.
Elder-in-Chief, sir.
No Sharon and Grayson here, lass. Plowing humans. Always out to fix things, always end up cocking them up. You think you're due glory, do you? Monster Slayer Meve? Patroness of dwarves? Blast it. What do you think? Why didn't I exterminate those beasts myself, eh? Go on, tell me!
For you.
For I didn't want to. For something didn't fit, damn it. So I resolved to not destroy their nests and evidence till I learned the truth of who done it.
Postponed it all those years expressly. Though your subjects were dying.
I didn't need no lectures from the likes of you. Justice must be served. That's worth any price. And I was close. Had leads. And now, it's all gone to hell. You flooded Devor's abyss. You brought Boros rump down on itself. And I'll never ken who killed the Fuchses. Understand? Never!
Now is the decision. My oh my. Let's do it this. Look to the Zigrins. Let's decide. Let's go with the truth.
I would not be so sure.
Sure a bloody what?
That you shall never learn the truth. For I learnt it just moments ago. 'Twas the Zigrins who killed the Fuchses.
The Sigrins? But... oh, Lord. Aye, it would explain a lot, that. Ah, the snakes, worms, rogues! Why, I'll show 'em. All right. Got to admit you've more in that pretty heat of yours than I expected. But dinna you start thinking we'll be toasting a new friendship. You want our aid? You'll have to answer our questions. My questions. Lots of them. And they're all hard, so dinna you go smiling at me yet.
Why, I wouldn't dare.
Better not. Right. Time we moved on.
Bruva set off at a brisk pace, paying Meve nor anyone else heed. The Elder's bodyguards rushed after him, then came the Lyrian force, and at its end trudged Gabor Zigrin, hands and feet in shackles.
And we have lost Gabor from our party because of that. Not happy about that. Okay, we cannot go any further. Letter found. On Langbridge, it is strictly forbidden to stomp, jump, lean over the edge, stop for a rest, carve runes in the handrails, hoo-hoo-ha.
Wanted to hunt monsters, eh? Oh, Elder's furious. Spits flying 10 feet. Let humans neath carbon. Dinna ken if that's wise. Wanted to hunt monsters, eh?
Okay. No.
Dwarves demonstrate innovative thinking in many domains. Metallurgy, engineering, architecture. Yet there is one in which they could not be bothered. Naming. For this reason, the bridge that linked the Mahakam Pass with Mount Carbon was simply named Langbridge. Meve learned it was a thoroughly fitting name. Having stopped for a breath halfway across the road suspended over a deep chasm, the Queen could see neither end of the bridge. both concealed by thick clouds.
Amazing.
Whispered the Queen.
I feel as though we traversed the very sky.
The Queen and her retinue were nearing Mount Carbon when Meve heard a cry. It was Xavier.
Hold! Hold!
Meve drew in her reins abruptly. Her mare neighed and reared, lifting the Queen above her formation of men. From that height, she saw the last pier of the bridge crumbling. The dwarves at the head of the procession were unable to stop in time and plummeted, screaming into the abyss.
What's the meaning of this, God damn it?
Gruver roared.
Fetch the engineers! Now!
The Queen was striving to calm her spooked mount when she sensed something swish past her ear. Out of nowhere, a Scoia'tael band had appeared at the rear of the column. Before anyone could react, elven archers had felled the rear guard. The soldiers lay on the bridge's stone surface with arrows in their backs. Meve was trapped. In one direction lay the chasm, in the other, a fierce foe. She had no choice but to stand and fight.
Okay, the Battle of Langbridge. Story battle, shortened battle, and extra cards. The Elrians watched in disbelief as Scoia'tael warrior slits the throat of Mahakam guards. How could this be? Non-humans against non-humans? To what end? Could it be the elder races do not uniformly support the squirrel's cause? No doubt these questions and more plagued the men's thoughts. Yet this was not the time to entertain them. This was a time to fight. Okay, Brewer Hook. Spawn 2 Mahakam protectors and move an enemy from the melee to the ranged row. Move away unit 1 row away from the opponent. 1 reach. Okay. Let's see. Damage an enemy by 5 and it adds an additional unit by 2. And whenever a unit is moved to the same row as cliff, destroy it. Okay. So, Brewer and him. Come on. One. And
At last, Renna! You are mine!
We trapped you, Grace, but we can try and fight our way through.
Damage a unit by 2 if it already boosted the damage it by 6. Okay. We will start with this.
Water is the poison.
Special prize, just for you, love.
Every 2 turns on turn start, summon a random elf from your deck. Okay. And Xavier.
Getting to work.
Oh, didn't know that it is infinite.
Nay, Duanve camest.
Why not?
Show me the coin or sod off.
Again, random elf. Well.
Think you ballbags can do whatever the devils you please? This is Mahakam!
Resilience and armor 4. Okay. And turn. So far, so good. Just in case.
I'd hoped we could solve this some other way.
May your sword and arm be one.
Destroy a damaged unit. Okay.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Okay. The best thing to do now is this. And... well...
we'll catch them all!
I cannot use it. I cannot use it as well. Nothing happened. I was not able to use it up.
Now we will see who is weak.
Whenever an elf unit is destroyed, boost this unit by 2. Too late. I should have moved this one. Unfortunate.
Fry it!
Okay.
The chase is on!
And we have this one. So the easiest way to do is this. And then this.
I was hoping you'd say that.
Fast. Let's use this. Yeah. Come on.
No! Blederenna! She must die!
Thankfully, because of the dwarves, a little bit easier than expected, but should have probably passed sooner. Oh, well, let's continue.
Their strength combined, the Lyrians and dwarves managed to defeat the Scoia'tael. The guerrillas had weakened the last span of the bridge, turning the crossing into a deadly trap. Had Xavier, who noticed the weakened structure at the last instant, not called out, all would have fallen into the chasm. The Lyrians managed to capture the unit commander. She stood, her head raised high, and when Meve glared at her, she did not avert her eyes.
New one into command can, Crow's Eye.
What is your name, elf?
Abayeth met a Parstwan.
She said,
Thank you, Reynard. I know well what she said. Kiss my arse, is that truly the best you can muster?
I'd rather show you exactly what I can muster. Tell them to unbind me.
You got your opportunity. On the battlefield. Will you not tell me what they call you? Fine. It's all the same to me. I'm more interested to know how you came to be here. Who sent you?
No one. It was my decision to kill you, and thus avenge Eldain. You've elven blood on your hands. The blood of the elves of the Moulderwood.
Eldain was a criminal, or I regret... Well... Let's go with this one. I regret the events in the Moulderwood, the fate of the elves there.
I regret the events of the Moulderwood. I did not wish those elves' deaths. Yet they left me no choice.
What choice would you give a murderer who invaded your home?
You know I envy you. To see the world solely as black or white, it must simplify things so. Enough. I've heard all I wish to hear.
But I haven't. Did you fall in your heed, elf, eh? If you want to fight humans, go on and do it. You cannot talk sense to idiots and nae here, damn it. Mahakam is and will be neutral.
You cannot be neutral. To Dwan, you are either their foe or their dog. Mahakam has stood aside, sleeping long enough. That is why we struck it in its very heart, as a call to battle. A call to brethren whom you, Elder, have kept from the world too long.
I have kept him away. I've been bloody right to do so. You want to play at war, you numpties? You want to force the Pontar to flow upstream? Gang right ahead. Good riddance, I say. Gan kill, gan die if you fancy. But gods damn it, leave us alone. Yeah, I should kill you. With my own hands. I should cut your throat, put you out of your misery. That's what you want, innit? To die? To die a stupid death? Well, I'll not grant you that. Nay, nay, I'll lock you in a tower. Sit there 3 centuries, and you just might grow a brain.
Bruva Hoog gazed after the shackled elf as she was led away. Neve expected him to continue fuming, cursing her. But the dwarf stood silent, and his old eyes, half concealed by brows bushy as a forest floor, showed not anger, but the deepest sadness. Dwarven engineers made quick work of repairing the crumbled bridge span.
Okay, let's pick up the loot from the battle. At least a little bit more of that. Let's check out the card which we have won or acquired. Move 6 random enemies to the other row and damage them by 2. It's actually not bad. The question is if we will be able to... Well... We'll see. We will keep these 2 different. And this is the only one which we can do. And I will... Hopefully that's not a mistake again, but I will not use it yet.
Look. Mount Carbon. Damn. And I thought Novigrad was big.
So the elves are against us. Against our elder. Treacherous hounds. Truth be told, I supported the Scoia Telefor. No, I wish every last one of them dead. Dead! Long-eared bastards. Raising our own saplings against us in rebellion. Sowing unrest. Violence in the mountains. So the elves are against us. Against our elder. Treacherous hounds.
Mount Carbon. Wipe your feet, comb your beard, but foreign garb bring not in here. Carbon's heart, can you hear that throb? You're a dwarf, damn it, not a slop. Hoo hoo ha.
The Lyrians stepped inside Mount Carbon's bowels. Meve rode while looking upwards, admiring the intricately carved ceiling, gilded walls, monumental bas-reliefs carved from basalt. Yet this was no time to admire the sights. Bruverhoog had summoned her to speak.
I thank you for your invitation, Elder.
My invitation? Choice term, lass. You wangled your way in here. Long I've lived, but ne'er have I seen a wench so stubborn.
With all due respect, do you not feel like a pot conversing with a kettle?
Ha! True enough. Changes of mind didn't come easy to me, but they do come at times. Human wars concern me not at all. For so many they are, who could count them? Near a year goes by without one wanking king invading another's realm. A dog with scabies is less restless. That's why, this morning, I aimed to send you off with nothing. Mattered not what the clans were saying. Rivia, Schmivia, who gives a sheep's fart? But that was this morn, before that daft wench and her pups attacked. Nilfgaard supports the Scoia'tael, it's common knowledge. Nilfgaard uses them. Well, I'm nae worse, and I choose to use Queen Meve.
You must have conceived a plan.
So what use would you make of me, if I might ask? You've a plan?
Aye, the kind dwarves like best. Simple, but sneaky. Like to give Nilfgaard a warning, you ken. If you're going to rile my dwarves, throw 'em into the Scoia'tael ranks. You'll regret it, aye? But I'd like to issue the warning without declaring war. All clear to you so far? So, when you march out of Mahakam, you'll find a company of our foot dwarves waiting out with the gate. Officially, volunteers, enlisting with you against my will. And you're to put them at the fore next time you face Nilfgaard. Want the Blackclads to break their teeth on our bucklers, get a taste of our axe blades. After that, dare say they'll think twice before they send more Scoia'tael into these hells.
I do not... Thank you, Elder. You restore my hope that I shall have my home back in the end.
A week back I'd have laughed you down the mountain. At last you're a plucky wench. And with summit in that head of yours. To talk so many clans over to your side, dead easy. Who kens? It just might be the end to drive Nilfgaard back across the Yaruga.
I shall. You will see. Before the year is up. You've my word.
Reaching for the stars. You shan't get there without resources. I'll see to it you want for nought.
I shall be in your debt to my dying day.
Meaning what? For another 15 years? Dinna bother.
Okay, new card. Volunteer Corps. This card has been added to your army. Mahakam Mangler. Mahakam Shield Bearer.
I would like to march at once. So by your leave...
Nay, not granted. At once? What's that mean? Our laws are clear. Guests are to be sent off with a thundering feast. Even the humans.
Bruver, as was Bruver's wont, insisted. So the Queen accepted the invitation, but as was her wont, set a condition. The feast was to last but one night, and not, as was the wont of local custom, an entire week. All clans were to be represented at the feast. Save one, of course, the Zigrins. For they had already learned their punishment. The entire clan was banished from Mahakam. An exception was made for one of their number, for Gabor, who was beheaded before the day was done. When the sun had retired behind the peaks, the underground city came alive with the sound of bugles, bagpipes, and horns. The dwarves emerged out into the central square and danced exuberantly, sparks kicking up from their hobnail boots. The usually crabby Elder-in-Chief Hoog proved a cordial host that evening.
Let's drink, lest our neck shafts grow cobwebs!
Suddenly, a messenger arrived. Bruver lifted his copper horn to his ear and listened with furrowed brow.
What's that? Speak up!
When she saw a sour grin on his face, Meve knew the tidings were not good. Yet she did not suspect they pertained to her directly.
Meve, you expecting anyone?
How's that?
Runner says a delegation's arrived at Carbon. Freyliria and Rivia got a Nilfgaardian escort.
How dare they? Traitors. Who leads it?
You'd best sit.
Who leads the delegation?
It's your son, Willem, I fear.
Willem?
Mahakam remains neutral as regards all your squabbles. I trust I needn't remind you. So I'll have no scrambling or shoving, and certainly no bloodshed. Point of fact, I'd prefer it if you...
I wish to speak to him.
I'd forbid you, but, as I said, never seen a more stubborn wench. Alrighty then, jabber away with him. Just remember, hands to yourself.
Meve spotted banners, a Lyrian eagle upon one surrounded by Nilfgaard's black rags. Her hands became fists, showing how helpless she felt. Then her son and rival, Willem, emerged from behind a row of Imperial footmen.
My. I should apologize. It seems I missed the coronation. Congratulations, my son. Who was it who placed the crown? General Ebdahi?
Count Caldwell.
Ah, yes. Our elder statesman. Why have you come here, of all places? To acquire arms for Nilfgaard?
As my official mission, yes. Yet unofficially, I wish to speak with you. I trust you've had tidings from the field. Edirn turned to ash and dust. Vizimir murdered Redania in chaos. Foltest forced to strike a pact by his vassals betrayed, Henselt the same.
This limerick, will it come to a point?
Why, yes. To the same as this war. Mother, I beg you, you must see it. Nilfgaard's victory is inevitable. Surrender now, and I shall show you mercy. For later it'll be too late.
There will be no later. We shall repel them, drive them south at the points of our pikes.
This we, Mother? Who precisely do you mean? You stand alone.
Better to stand alone than with Nilfgaard.
I prefer to stand alone over standing with Nilfgaard, with the invader, as you do.
Mother, in declaring for the Empire, I saved the lives of thousands of our subjects.
And in so doing, our honor lost!
Folk who had their huts burned down care deeply about our honor. Is that truly your belief? When I was crowned, a fact you deride, though that makes it no less true, I swore the good of my subjects would guide me. And a war we are doomed to lose cannot in any way benefit them.
And slavery can. You know well the Blackclads put peasants in chains, like cattle.
Reprehensible, I agree, but...
And resettlement? Forced labor? Cruel laws that make death the punishment for the slightest offenses? Are those benefits? Well, answer me!
I see I will not sway you, Mother. A shame, though I take comfort in the fact I tried. And now, adieu.
Oh no, I, not you, will decide when this conversation is over.
Oh, have we anything else to discuss?
Did you hear the Nilfgaardians try to kill me?
Are you perhaps aware that the Nilfgaardians tried to kill me?
What? No, I heard only about an avalanche.
Which tumbled down through no small effort of an Imperial envoy.
Never would I have agreed to such a heinous act.
I believe you.
I'm heartened that, despite all we...
I believe you because I believe the Nilfgaardians wouldn't ever have asked your opinion. Think on it, son. Are you their ally or their tool? Can you ever be sure?
I am the King of Lyria and Rivia. To serve my subjects' best interests, I am prepared to make even the most painful concessions. Might I leave now? Or is there more?
How did you know I would be here?
Naturally. How did you know you would find me here?
I received Nilfgaardian reports to the effect that you've been seen in the pass.
Oh, roses are red and so are your cheeks, my son. As ever when you're caught in a lie. Lyria is 2 weeks' travel hence. Had you received word only once I was here, we'd have been long gone from Mahakam by the time you assembled a force and completed the march. No. You were forewarned of our intended route. It means I've a traitor in my ranks. Another one. Get out of my sight, villain. And pray we only ever face one another on neutral ground.
Meve struggled inside not to turn and gaze once more at her son. He'd changed since they'd last faced each other, grown manlier, and he wore the crown well. The Queen returned to the banquet hall. Her advisors shot her questioning glances, curious what she had discussed with Bruver. But Meve decided to keep the details to herself. One of them wore a Nilfgaardian lead around his neck. Until she knew who, she would have to remain vigilant.
Feasting's done, Reynard. We must consider our next move.
I've thought on it, Your Grace. We've strength enough to hit the foe, but still not the numbers to face him in open battle.
So what do you propose?
This war we cannot win alone, nor even with the dwarves at our side. But if we secure a victory, small yet symbolic, we shall show the other realms of the north all is not yet lost. Thus, I propose we attack behind the front lines, somewhere well clear of any major Imperial force.
Where would you suggest?
I'm considering Angren. To begin with, a thickly wooded marshy land, always helpful in clandestine operations. Secondly, the land's strategically important, as it's the chief source of building material for Nilfgaard's fleets.
All too little, I fear. Since we require a victory that would be symbolic, we must strike where it shall hurt, and Angren...
Just recently welcomed a new regent, in the person of Count Coldwell, my third argument. Naturally, if your Majesty wishes, I'm prepared to present alternatives to this.
No need. We march at dawn.
Meve had toiled, cajoled, persuaded, and gained the dwarves' support. She left Mahakam strengthened, markedly. Even so, the Queen was in a foul mood. For it was clear a traitor, a viper, nested among the Lyrians. Someone who had conveyed the Queen's plans to her foe. From this moment on, Meve would need to weigh every word she uttered, even in the presence of her closest associates.
Your Grace, we must plot our course forward. Shall we take the western passage into Angren, or...
Not now.
When, then? Dawn approaches, yet we know nothing of where...
I will not repeat myself.
The Queen knew she would learn the traitor's identity in the end. If need be, she would tear the name from the throat of another turncoat, Count Caldwell. Meve drooled at the prospect of seeing Caldwell in chains, then passing him to the hangman.
Saddle the horses. I shall take the fore.
The time for diplomacy, for preparations and negotiations had gone. Meve was to attack her foe at last, and she could not wait to do so.
And another achievement. We have the high ground. Complete the main storyline for Mahakam.
At long last, Meve's force reached Angren's marshy woods. Ever been? No. Count yourselves lucky.
You certain we haven't lost our way?
Alas, here there is no way. We continue south, that's all.
South meaning the bottom.
Should you ever venture there, I offer you this advice. Do your utmost to make no noise. Poor soul. His comrades cried out, reached out, but alas, amidst frothing waters, they heard bones cracking, the moan of metal bent and crushed.
What the bloody hell, what was that?
Rather not know, personally.
Hold your positions! Arms at the ready!
It was a glusty war. One of many the Lyrians would encounter along their path. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. At last, Meve and her force stood upon the Yaruga's bank. To find and punish the traitor Caldwell, they would have to cross the river. Yet the sole bridge nearby was in Nilfgaard's hands.
Your Majesty, some new reports require your attention.
Okay. And we are at the new country. So, looking at the time, I think it should be time to end the episode for today. And let's check how the land here looks. Okay. We will have to travel a lot. Probably even more than in the Dwarven place of Mahakam. Okay. So, yeah. Thank you for being here with me, watching the latest episode, and I'll see you soon at the next episode, where we will be marching through marshes of the new kingdom where we have arrived. Until then, enjoy the rest of your day.